Now, your second thing was 911 system. Yeah, that came out. That was very sad. I know this because I know 911 well. Pat will attest to that. That I've built some of these systems, or all of these systems they use down there. My concern immediately when I heard this was, did the system fail? And lo and behold, it didn't. The system worked exactly the way it was designed. Somebody calls into 911. It rang into Sydney PD. Well, but Sydney PD was already on a 911 call, so what happens? It rolls over to some other partnering agency, which was Shelby County Sheriff's Office. Well, by the time that had occurred, she had already dialed 911 and the boyfriend hung it up. So it was a hang-up. So the dispatcher gets the hang-up call, sees it plotting, and hey, it shows up, they got a map down there, this little computer screen that shows up with a map, and it puts a big plot right there on a map, right at Fair and Spruce. And it tells you on the screen, this is where this call's coming from, because years ago we couldn't find that out. We had a case years ago from a lady by the name of Miss Ireland who was kidnapped, thrown in her trunk, assaulted. She had a cell phone in her pocket. She's in this dark trunk with a cell phone calling 911 while somebody's driving around county. Couldn't find her. She didn't know where she was at. Her cell phone pinged off a tower. Well, that person could have been anywhere within a 5-mile radius of that tower. So we're out looking for her. And this unknown vehicle, she had no clue where she was at, because we didn't have the technology to tie that phone to a particular GPS location. And that was sad, because unfortunately she didn't make it. This was one of the things we did back, that was 2007. After that, to make sure that we had E911, where when a call came in from a cellular phone, not only did it show you the tower, but then you could rebid it, boom, plots it on the map. Within a certain amount of accuracy, here's where that cell phone's at. Not the tower, but the cell phone. Well, we had it in this case. So what's the dispatcher do? They call back the number. Well, that's standard policy across all agencies, right? Call back the number, see if we can get hold of them. Of course, nobody answers. Now, at that point, standard policy across the state, as far as I know of, hang up. They left a message. Hey, if it's a problem, give us a call back. That's not standard policy, but that's what they did. Standard policy for anybody that can plot it on a map would be to send a deputy or an officer. In this case, since it's in Shelby County, or not just in Shelby County, but in Sydney, where should you go? Call Sydney back. Hey, look, I had a 911 call that got plotted at Fair and Spruce. Can you check it out? That would have been the thing to do. But they get a lot of calls from off the interstate, evidently, is what I understand. And so they turned it up, or I'm sorry, didn't turn it up. They listened on the headset to see what those 12 seconds were. And dispatcher said he didn't hear anything. I believe if that's what they said, he didn't hear anything. So they chalked it up to a pocket dial. You know, we've all done that, right? Cell phone, pocket dial. And they said, okay, it's a pocket dial. They close the call, everything's gone. Nobody knows, and she got beat for an hour. Tased, beat. Yeah. Fortunately, she was able to walk out of there because she negotiated with her ex-husband, boyfriend, whomever he was, and he let her go. And then he turned around and committed suicide. So the response from the other side, Pat, was, oh, it all worked out okay. Did it? Did it work out okay? We didn't do what we were supposed to do. And on top of that, somebody died. I don't care if it was the one that beat her up and was holding her hostage. That's a person. That's a human being. Someone still died. So are you sure that that's the right outcome? I'm not going to say I'm sure of that. I don't think the ends justifies the means in that case. I really don't.